All right, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever in the world it is that you are. Welcome once more to another live stream of Alexandra Mayers Live. I am on my lunch break right now, relaxing a little bit here in Houston, Texas. It is so hot. It is hot outside. It is hot. It is so hot that if I mean you could easily die outside. It's pretty bad. But I'm feeling good. I'm on my lunch break right now, and I was going to talk to a friend of mine who wanted me to call her, but she was busy. Hey, Skelly. Oh my God, Skelly. I'm glad you're here. You are going to love episode 2 of Spirit Inc. Okay, you're going to love it while I was working today. For those who don't know, I work remotely. So while I'm working, I can also video edit in between what I'm doing. But I finished episode 2, the editing. It is awesome. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. And I have granted the privilege, not like it's that big of a privilege, but still, I've granted permission to the Outcast Owls to syndicate the show because if it were not for them, I would not have met my lovely co host, the Jokeress. So make sure you check it out on their channel. And Skelly, what I am going to do is upload the high res file. It's a really long episode, longer than normal. It's like an hour, but I'm going to upload the high res file to like a Google Drive or something, and you can download it and re upload it. That way, the quality is a bit better than before, picture wise, because the Joker has got on me about that. But I don't mind. I don't mind constructive criticism. So anyway, it's summer. It's summer, and I think I've done a bit more this summer than I anticipated. As I said before, I really don't like summer, especially if I'm somewhere it's really hot, and it's really hot here. But tonight, I am probably going to do another installment of The Devil over on the IRL News Time channel because there's some things that I want to go over and talk about there. And I also want to maybe do like a mini movie review of a movie that I put the link up of, and I was going to do another Devil podcast the other night, but I've just been sleepy lately. I've been going to bed at a decent time. Oh, Lala's in here. Lala, how are you doing? Lala, you should come on and be a guest on Spirit Inc. with me and the Jokeress. I want you to come on the show. You should come on the show, and you can talk about whatever you want. I think that would be cool because I know that you're into spirituality and everything. And I really like you. And I think it would be cool if you came on the show and you could meet the Jokeress. And I think you two would vibe together really, really, really well. I really think that you would. And for those out there who don't know, if you keep up with all my projects, some people have thought that I'm mad at Lala or something, and I'm not. I just wanted her to know the truth about something, and she saw it. So I'm not worried about it. And even so, it would be her prerogative. People can do whatever they want, but I really like her. Everyone check out her channel, Lala Looking Up. Yeah, yeah. Well, I would like for you to share your spirituality and whatnot. I think that'd be cool. I think that would be really cool. So, next week, I probably won't be streaming much at all, if at all. Probably not next week or the week after, because I'm going to be visiting with a family member and everything. And I do need to work that week. I need to really focus on work, and I need to focus on the family member that I'm visiting. And that way, my family member and I can drive each other nuts, and I won't feel tempted to share any of that on the internet because I got to keep some privacy, Got to try, got to try. But life's going pretty well. I'll tell you something funny. I'll tell you something really funny. I'm really having fun taking on that character and taking on that guise of the devil. I'll tell you, since I've been doing that, and I hope it doesn't smack me back in the face, it might, but I've been exuding, I think, a little bit more of an attractive energy than I normally do because I've been doing that because I've allowed myself to kind of indulge in being a little bad or a little devilish. So I'm going to keep that up for probably the rest of the year, as long as YouTube lets me. It's funny. It's so funny. It's so funny seeing people talk about it too, because I don't know if they realize how crazy they sound referring to me as the devil. You got to be careful what you speak, because you can easily speak things into being, and that is what episode 2 is actually all about when it comes to Spirit Inc. It's really a lot of fun. Oh, hi, Daniel. How are you doing? How are you doing, Daniel? Um, it's just fun. So let's see what else is going on with me. What else is going on? Not much, not much. Just people, please be careful online when it comes to who you connect with, because I knew from the adult entertainment industry that there were a lot of really predatory people online, but my perspective when it came to predators always had to do with older guys trying to hurt young girls. You know, that was like the whole thing that I focused on. But it's not just that. You got all kinds of people preying on other people on the internet. You really do. And as I'm moving forward in my life and I'm letting a lot of things go and I'm focusing more on myself, I'm sometimes I feel a little helpless because I'm just to a point right now to where I do have to focus more on myself and help myself more. And I just hate seeing things to where, you know, you want to warn the person. And sometimes I do. Y'all see me do it. But sometimes you just can't. And you do have to let people learn for themselves. But that's why I like to write, and that's why I make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of blog posts and blurbs about everything. That's why I've written books, because I want to put the knowledge out there, but a person has to be willing to seek out the knowledge, you know? So, yeah. Oh, it is funny. It's real funny. And that's why I'm just going to have so much fun with the devil, Lala. I'm going to have so much fun being the devil because I think that they think I really am. I think so. I'll tell you what's funny too, and I'm sure that she will counter me on this, but Miss Parker, that little cartoon avatar that she has, it does look like her, but sometimes I look at that thing and I think to myself, that little cartoon looks like me. But I look like a lot of characters and cartoons and whatnot of black women because I have very plain features for the most part, with the exception of my eyes. My eyes aren't so plain, but I just look like a lot of things and a lot of people. Everywhere I go, somebody thinks that they know me from somewhere. And sometimes they do, but I swear, it's like everyone thinks I'm either their cousin or someone that they knew from college or something. It's something about my look. I just look like a lot of people. You made a video and you want me to react to it? What is the video? Ricochet mullet. I'm afraid to even look. Have I considered doing some sort of workshop to help people grow their channels or platforms? No, no. And even though I do, there's reasons why I do take issue with Miss Parker. I don't think I always will, but it's going to take some years for me not to, just for petty reasons. Seriously. But she's the one to talk to when it comes to growing your channel, marketing yourself, growing your platform. Everything that I've grown and developed over the years has basically been experimental. It really has, and accidental. I've been on the internet longer than a lot of people have. I'm older than a lot of people who are on the internet, especially nowadays, who are social media moguls are. I'm 43 and I've been on the internet since before the conception of the internet, since the days of Prodigy, BBS systems, meaning bulletin board systems. For those who are not aware, my father was an engineer, so I grew up with technology, grew up with computers. I actually think that part of the reason that I've been given a certain level of leeway when it comes to some of my online activities has been because a lot of my activity has helped to shape a lot of social media platforms and whatnot. I've been around for a long, long, long time. Too long, gosh. Before there were like perma bans from platforms. Should I say this or not? Yeah, I'll say it. I was banned from a very well known platform that has since gone defunct because I figured out a few things about it and was labeled a little bit of a hacker. I'm not a hacker anymore. I don't do certain things, but I'm just somebody who recognizes patterns very readily. I think it's the type of autism that I'm self diagnosed as having. So I'm a little bit different. I think a little bit differently. I do. I wish I didn't at times. But then again, I'm glad I don't. And really, when I say I wish something, I never mean it because there's no such thing as a wish. It's just a matter of wanting something and walking toward it and getting there. Because if you can think something, it's already happened. It's just that your present is catching up to your future. But again, that's why I want all of you to watch the next installment of Spirit Inc. with the Jokeress, because we talk about quite a few of these things. Quite a few. Lala, see, that's the thing. I don't really think I'm highly intelligent. I actually think I'm pretty damn dumb. I am not, I don't think that I have the intellect of quite a few people who are very intelligent. I think that my gift is just patterns. If there's a pattern, I'm going to see it. That's all it is. So what else? What else? Well, can't stay on here very long because I got to log back into work. But life's going pretty well. Life is going well. Not going to go into detail, but my sister achieved a goal recently. And I didn't even know that she embarked upon her goal with her child. And I'm so proud of her for it. I think that, and I'm not going to go into detail, but I bet that they're having a really, really, really good time. So I'm really proud of you if you see this. And I'm talking to my sister. Let's see what else. Well, I don't know what your video is. Oh, him. I don't want to talk about him, Ricochet. And the reason being is because I am consciously not focusing on things that are incredibly negative or even scary to me. That particular individual is very frightening from my perspective. I wish I had never opened myself to ever communicate with him. I wish I had never flirted with him. A lot of times, like, I'm naturally kind of flirty, and a lot of times men think if I flirt with them, it's like I'm totally in love with them or something. But my flirtations are quite fleeting. I fall in love and out of love at the drop of a hat. I really do. That's just me, and I've always been that way. And I've noticed over the years that sometimes men misread me, and sometimes men get more upset about rejection than women do. And a lot of the stalking and stuff I've dealt with over the years has been with what I thought were innocent flirtations, but the guys thought I wanted to be with them together forever or something, and that wasn't the case. So in a way, like, I don't mind if somebody gets mad at me about that. I feel like, okay, maybe I deserve you being mad. But when it crosses the line, like when you're saying, I want you dead, you should be dead in a ditch, you should do this, you should do that, you know, And I do fault myself for learning about as much as I did when it comes to the IP2 IRL link community. I didn't realize there was as much mental illness in there as there was, because I mean it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I was watching a certain panel the other day, and I was just observing, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't know these people are really like that. So sometimes I don't completely look at the deep end of the pool before I jump. Um, yeah, yeah. So I gotta be careful with that and work at that. I would think at the age that I am right now, I would think at 43, I wouldn't have to work on the flirtation thing so much because I love men. I really do. Men are great, and I've had so many men in my life try to, just through their anger at me for whatever reason, try to kind of like say that I'm a man hater or all this kind of stuff. But I can't, even with like as much psychological abuse or spiritual abuse or whatever I've contended with, I still love men a lot. A part of that could be because, at least in my formative years as a teenager, I was primarily around women growing up. There were very few men I was around. I kind of feel like Wonder Woman, like I grew up on this island of all women, these Amazons. Because in a way, I kind of did, but not that extreme. But I just come from a family of a lot of women, especially on my mother's side, very strong women. So I am a certain way. And that actually reminds me, I've been meaning to tell this story, but I forgot about it the other day. But I'll tell it now. One of the first Halloween costumes I had was Wonder Woman. It was a store-bought costume. My mom got it for me. But you know what she did? I don't know if you're my age, you'll remember, but they used to sell these Halloween masks that were the cartoon characters, and they still do. Some are more elaborate, but they stopped selling a certain kind because kids were suffocating or whatever. But I didn't suffocate. But anyway, I had the mask for Wonder Woman, but it looked like the actual woman who played Wonder Woman at that time on the television series. And my mom was very adamant about me having, a good sense of self as a young African American black girl. And I still had a difficult time, mainly because I wasn't raised in my young years around other African Americans or blacks. And I faulted my parents for that, but they didn't know. They didn't know it would affect me as it did. And it's not their fault. Actually, it might have been to my advantage in certain ways. But she painted the face of the Wonder Woman mask. And it was so beautiful because my mom's an artist and she knows how to make the skin tones look good and everything. And I remember going to school and everything with it, and everyone thought it was so awesome and beautiful and everything. And I was thinking about that, and that was kind of a little bit of a manifestation that I think my mom did for me when it comes to the kind of person, at least how I view myself as an adult today. Because sometimes when I do accomplish certain goals or I get certain projects done, sometimes as I'm doing the projects, I think that there is some sort of unseen force that comes through me and helps me accomplish whatever it is. And that makes me feel a little bit like Wonder Woman. So that's why I think it's good for kids to be into the comic book characters. I'm not sure about some of the remakes of comic book characters. I think that if something's made as it is, it should stay as it is because that's somebody's piece of art. Not everything needs to be remade. But just when I think about a lot of the comic book characters and everything I grew up with, I see why I made certain choices that I've made. So, yeah, that's about it for today. You know what, Stuart? I'm going to read this out loud because I'm really, 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 really tired of people saying certain things to me about these men, but not everybody has the same experience with everybody. So I'm going to read this and then we're going to talk about how not everybody has the same experience with everybody. even though what you're saying may be valid, but I don't think it is. Stuart, who is this? Stuartle B. Hart says, I understand you don't find this statement credible. However, I do feel that being associated with that owl community takes away from your credibility. You are very intelligent. Everyone who said that to me is associated with the racist IP2 community. All of you who said it, whether you say the N word or not. So, I kind of got to weigh things because I got to live in this world and I got to survive in this world and I have to matriculate in this world. So here's what I know. I know that when I actually met Skelly and 24 Eyes in person, which I think only one other person that I've spoken to has actually done, they were nothing but respectful and kind to me. They were nothing but compassionate toward me. They were nothing but perfect gentlemen toward me. Now, if you haven't met those men in person, how can you really say anything? And that's how I feel about myself. If you haven't met me in person, which the majority of you haven't, even though I've gone out of my way to meet some of you, and some of you I've met have, even after I thought you treated me well and I thought I treated you well, you've said mean things about me. And even I was very disappointed with LD Live. I'm going to talk about that real quick. I was very disappointed because I think he thought I didn't see what he said about me, but I did. And that doesn't discount how I view his mom, which I actually think better of nowadays, or his sister. But that right there is what told me that the individuals that I've hung out with online, virtually, over the past year, don't deserve my presence. The Owls do. The Jokeress does. Jimmy Rizzo does. Lala Looking Up does. Sunny IRL does. But the rest? Something is wrong with some of you. Something is very wrong with some of you. And whatever it is, it's not my damn problem. But some of you who are watching quietly, who I know I made your heart jump just now, you need to be very careful with how you treat people, because I am incredibly classy. I'm not going to say kind. I'll say I'm classy. But as I move forward in life, and I do very well, some of you are going to want to say that you know me, or you're going to want me to somehow acknowledge you, and I'm not. Not at all. So I'll just leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. But, and I shared this in a previous stream. Part of the reason I like the Outcast Owls specifically has to do with the spirit animal that they utilize as their avatar. My favorite aunt, who I related to most in my family, who has passed away, her favorite animal was the owl. And sometimes when I feel sad or I'm upset about something or angry, or if I just feel lost, I think about her, and I think about so many encouraging things that she said to me over the years. And a lot of it was right before I made the solid decision not to work as an adult actress in adult films anymore. She was very instrumental in rebuilding my self-esteem and my sense of self-worth. And other people were too. Another woman who passed away, known as Shelley Lubin, was very helpful to me. My mother was very helpful to me. My sister was very helpful to me. A lot of women were very helpful to me. Some men were too. But I hadn't felt so bashed as I had felt in a long time after an individual who I didn't have to help that piece of shit. And I'm talking about that guy from IP2, Attila. I helped him for a week. And then at the end, in front of all of his peer group, he called me the N-word. And then that opened the gateway for that whole community to, without any kind of holding back, label me the N-word. And nobody was doing anything about it. And I've gone through that before. I dealt with that when I left the adult industry. Not the N-word, but just attacks. Because everybody was so afraid. They were afraid to stand up and do what was right. But you know who helped rebuild me and get me to feel better about myself again? Skelly of the Outcast Owls. And he's done it for some other women too. And it's kind of to his detriment that he's helping certain women who have been bashed by other women that people are unjustly defending, because he has his own life offline. But he's naturally a very protective person. And truthfully, I think that a lot of you out there who are talking smack about him, because we all do have a past. I've heard some people criticize me, say that I don't talk about my past. My past is out there for all of you to see. I can never get rid of it. And it's so readily weaponizable for so many of you pieces of trash straight out the trailer park. And you know who I'm talking to. But a lot of you are not used to people who fight back. Skelly helped me find within myself a little something that scares the hell out of you. Now, I've coined it the devil, but it's just Alexandra Mayers. A part of me that, believe it or not, I was taught to suppress. Because what I have in me is so strong, and I'm not being dramatic by saying this, but it's so strong that it's deadly. So some of you need to be very, very careful fucking with me. Be very careful. Because I do hold back tremendously, but I'm not holding back so much nowadays. Because I needed somebody to tell me, hey, it's okay to fight back. And one of those people was Skelly, and some other people are telling me that too. And as I become a little bit more comfortable with the level of how deadly I can be, when you're laying on that floor crying, metaphorically bleeding, you just think about what you did to bring it upon yourself, okay? So that's about it for today. That's about it. But I just wanted to talk about what I want to talk about. And now I'm going to log back into work. Take care, everybody. Love yourself, be yourself, and look for the next installment of Spirit Inc. I look forward to all of you watching it. And maybe some of you will utilize some of the things that the Jokeress outlines. All right? Bye-bye.